Hey guys, it is Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, and I'm back with some free VST plugins to help you with your musical adventures and endeavors. All right, guys, we are in the month of October 2024, and the theme for this month will be saturation plugins and creative effects. So let's jump right into it. It should be an interesting month of plugins. Also, at the end, I'm gonna bring you guys some instrument VSTs also, synths, instruments, things of that nature. Once we get through the theme for the month, there are some new plugins on the list, very, very new. So let's jump right into it. The free plugins for today, October 1st, 2024, are as follows. So first up here, we have IVGI from Klanghelm. This one's been around for a while. They've been updating it, keeping it up to date with the latest VST standards, VST3, all that good stuff. They made it resizable. They are tweaking and working the algorithm, make sure it's performing properly and properly utilizing the power and the power of today's CPUs. So the power and efficiency, that's what I wanted to say. The power and efficiency of today's CPUs. So this one, straightforward interface, very interesting, very smooth, useful saturation. So we have drive, we have the asymmetry of the mix here. You can mess with that. There's a little button here. You can press that for a relaxed mode. It kind of gets a bit aggressive. Depending on what you're going for, if you're trying to really over-process like a Vox. But if you're trying to be gentle on like your main lead vocal, you might not want to hit the relax button. But depending on what your source is, it could be an instrument, a sample. You can crank it. And we have a VU meter reading here. Try not to let it hit the red. That's what I do. I use this one a lot. We have X-Talk. You have your in and out. So when you hit these buttons, the VU meter will be showing you either the input or the output, or you can see a combination of the input and output gain together. You have your main output here. You can turn this up, turn this down. As you drive the input, also there's an input trim here, so you can really control the level and your what's that thing called, gain stage, the staging of your gain. How you have full control because you have trim, input trim, you have the output. You can control how much you're driving it. You can drive it a lot, bring the output down, dial the input back or up, any combination to get the desired sound that you're going for. And down here we have a response dial, which will kind of focus the frequency range on where the saturation is happening. Very useful one. I use this one a lot. I use it very subtly, but it does give you some nice, smooth saturation. Next up, we have Heatwave from Slate Digital. This one came out last year, fairly new. It is a pretty good saturation plugin. I've used it a little bit more for like creative stuff, Vox, really over cranking it. So you hit the drive knob. We have input and output here. Knobs for you to kind of control your gain stage. There is a clipping button. Turn on some clipping. They have some presets. And A/B section. It is resizable. It's a bit of a pain to install and get set up, because it's through Slate Digital. I want to say you might have to activate it through iLock. I might be wrong, but it's not that straightforward. It's a little bit of fiddling around just to get it up and running. But once you got it up and running, it's good to go, 100% free. So check out Heatwave from Slate Digital. Next up, we have Fusion Core. Now this one just got released probably like 2 or 3 days ago. It's very interesting. It's from a company called Prototype Audio. Audio, sorry, Prototype Audio. I'm not familiar with them. They're fairly new. No, it's Prototype Audio. So this is a stripped down version of the full thing. The full one is actually a multi-band saturator. So you see this 3 times going from left to right. And depending on which saturation mode you select here, these little slots here, you highlight, see this one's highlighted. It'll give you different saturation modes. So this right now is in the surge saturation mode. So, like I said, they have 4 saturation modes: warm, crunch, and texture on your mix. You can add, enhance the detail and character. So we have the gain knob. You can select what frequency the gain is going to, and the drive, and you have tone. So with the 4 types of saturation, they have tube heat, which is modeled after soft tube saturation, plus adding gentle high gain clipping. Then we have tape warmth, which translates to midday heat, bringing old school tape flavor. Then we have the third algorithm is wave designer. It's a dirty wave folder combined with a clean saturator to make your mix roar. And then the last one is console character. So edge distortion, high-end fuzz, inspired by analog mixing consoles. So based on what they're saying, they're trying to get a little bit complex. But like I said, this one is just a single band. It'll just saturate your entire signal that you put it on, whether it be a bus, a vocal, instrument, or your overall master bus. So definitely check out Fusion Core from Prototype Audio. Like I said, this one is pretty new, so interface is resizable. All the usual suspects are there. They have presets here to get you up and running. And this is the version 1.0. All right, so next up, we're moving over to creative effects. This one just so happened to be within the realm of distortion a little bit. But this one is weird. From this company called Freak Show Industry. They make very, very weird over-the-top plugins. Sometimes it's a bit chaotic, and you got to kind of play with the dials to kind of wade through the chaos that is their plugins. So you got to be careful and apply this gently to your signal. But this one is some form of like tape saturation, but it's kind of broken. So the name of it is MISHBI, which is an acronym that stands for Maybe I Shouldn't Have Built You. And there's a lot of controls here. The free version, they kind of limit some of the controls you have access to. But it's a little tape machine that couldn't be broken, abandoned, forgotten, twisted, and forbidden science, as they're saying here. A lot of weird stuff, but check it out. It's interesting. If you're really looking to mangle your sound, this is a good way to start. And you could probably put it on in parallel and kind of dial it into taste if you don't want to apply too much of it to your signal. Next up, they have Back Mask, which is another weird one. This one, it's hard to explain. I think this one deals with more like time effects, reversing stuff, and just doing a lot of weird things with pitches. The controls make no sense on purpose because they just want you to kind of tweak and discover as you go. Very, very weird plugins, hard to describe, hard to explain. You just gotta load it up and check it out yourself on Signal Source. So for instruments today, instruments, free synths, we have Viking, VK1, Viking synthesizer. This one's been around for a little bit. It's a pretty good one. It is, if I remember correctly, it is monophonic, and it's emulating something. I want to say it might be emulating very loosely a Juno, but there's a lot going on here. The big thing about this one is the presets. There's a good amount of presets there. Nice basses, different types of basses for different genres, lead sounds, things of that nature, pads. So definitely check that one out. Next up, we have Free Alpha 3 from Linplug. And this one, it's an all-around synth. Very, very old. I don't even think the interface is resizable on this one. Has a good amount of presets. That's what it has going for it. Decent amount of presets in here. Very usable presets. A lot of good supporting sounds to help you layer, pads, keyboard sounds, bass, leads, wide variety of sounds. As far as the interface, it is pretty outdated, but still functional, still works, good sounds, and like I said, main thing, a lot of presets. So it has monophonic and polyphonic sounds, and it's a subtractive synth. But not least for today, we have Flight. Flight is another new one that got released probably 2 weeks ago or less than that. Within the last 2 weeks, it was released. It is from Wavia. I've never heard of these guys. I think they're fairly new. And the thing about this one is it comes with about 2.5 gigs of sounds, over 200 presets. So this is the light version, the free version to the full one. The full version gives you a lot more control over the parameters. Right here, they just give you a couple of macros to tweak, and you can't really get under the hood. With the full version, you can, and there's a lot to tweak underneath the hood. Otherwise, you have access to all the same presets. Like I said, 200 plus presets. It's very nice sounding synth, very versatile, wide a range of sounds, the different categories that you'd be looking for, stuff for keys, chords, like house chord type stuff, fifths and all that, bass, different types of basses for all your genre needs, leads, pads, all the good stuff. And just the way they build the tones and the effects on everything, very appealing, very inspirational presets. So definitely check this one. This one is a keeper, mainly because it has that huge library. So check out Flight, guys. The link is in the description. It'll take you to this blog page where you can check out all these plugins that I've discussed today. Click the corresponding download link, add them to your arsenal. Definitely check them out. Also check out the link in the description for a video series that I did called PC Specs and how it relates to music production. So if you're looking to understand how your computer works with your DAW to help you produce music smoothly and problem-free, no glitches, hitches, and distractions, check that video series out. It'll help you understand, the different important components and what they do, like your CPU, GPU, audio interface, RAM, your storage, why everything is important, what the important role they play in the whole pipeline of production, so you can understand what you need to focus on if you're having a specific issue. And if and when you're looking to upgrade your system or get your new system, your first system for music production, you'll know where to focus your money, what's more important for you based on your workflow and your workload. So you can make an informed decision when you are spending your money to get a computer and a setup for music production. So definitely check that out. Also, there is a link in the description for a growing playlist for these videos that I do twice a week. If you're looking for more videos like this, where I present you with free plugins, VST instruments, things of that nature, definitely check out that link for that growing playlist. It's ever growing. Over 300 videos there. So if you're looking for more free plugins, definitely check out that playlist. All right, guys, I'll be back on Thursday, definitely, to continue the new month of October 2024, themed with free saturation plugins and free creative effect plugins. I was gonna say weird effects because some of them are gonna be very weird, but creative effect plugins. That's the theme for this month. Definitely check back on Thursday, guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, you will see me in the next video.